You know, this parametrics thing is kind of cool. You know, because you can see that I had several dimension constraints here and a dimensional constraint here to make sure that these things remain basically where they're at. You know, when you change the size of them. So, you know, this length will always be maintained. This length will always be maintained. These are concentric to each other. And I've got the lengths of these lines set. Without that, you know, oh, and they're also collinear too. But, you know, without that, you get kind of bizarre results. Now, I guess you know, I could go put a like a string between these two objects. Well, yeah, vertical constraint. Oops. No. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could do it. Like I said, I don't think I can do it right there. I think it's going to work on their center point. So, you know, select to make sure these diameters are constrained to be within a certain point of each other. I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, something you'd want to do in practice or not. Oh, okay. Alright, so I put that on that, so if I go change the size of it, I don't know which circle that applied to, but yeah, see, it won't let me change the size of it, you know, but you can probably go, you know, well, maybe you can't change the value. There we go. So they're parametrically modifiable. You do have this parameter manager. Well, actually it's over here. So I guess you can see the different constraints you apply to it. Got it set to auto hide and dock over there. At any rate, you know, it's kind of interesting. It's a lot like SolidWorks in many ways. So I mean, you know, you can create parametric objects, you know, to do whatever you need to do. So it seems simple enough. So anyway. Oh, and by the way, I think, you know, when you do this thing down here, you know, this infer constraints, you know, I think that's what that was doing, because it was putting constraints, you know, on that one drawing, you know, I don't know which drawing it was, but, you know, right here is one of them. But I hit them earlier for some reason. But, you know, the point is that, you know, you got these constraints, you know, are implied to be perpendicular. So, you know, you can see how this is working right here. You know, it's keeping these this relationship here, you know, perpendicular. So, but that's what happens by default when you draw with this on. So, I mean, if I go, you know, I draw a bunch of lines and stuff. You know, it's putting all these implied constraints in it, so it kind of auto creates implied constraints. So, makes sense. So, you know, all these are perpendicular to each other, so I can never like grab, you know, this and, you know, like shift it out of whack, because it'll make these other unselected points move too. So, anyway, it's kind of cool.